Hello everybody, this is part 1 of a review of the PCD Chaser from Virgin Mobile USA. It is very similar to the Venture. It is a very low-end phone, only $80, no contract on Virgin Mobile. It has a very cheap plasticky feel to it, but it is $80, remember. Mainly the screen, because the screen is off color and generally not that great. Now let's just go over some of the specs. Like I said, this is a very low-end phone. Whoops, sorry about that. But it has a 3.2-inch screen. It has a 1450 milliamp hour battery, so not that big, but for such a small device, it is what it is. It has an 800 megahertz processor, which isn't bad. Android 2.3 Gingerbread, and 3G, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, the usual. It comes with a 2 gigabyte micro SD card, and not much internal memory like usual Virgin Mobile phones. I think it's between 150 and 200. Don't quote me on that. Also, it has a 3 megapixel camera with no flash or autofocus. Alright, so texting with this phone. Texting is not horrible, actually, but it's not great. Here you can see I've texted my Text Plus number that I've already given away in my videos, so I don't care if you text it. Alright, so basically the screen is very small. It's 3.2 inches, and even with landscape, your thumbs just see how much space they take up over the thing. So you have to have patience for a lot of double letters I've managed to type, like accidentally typing, a couple letters at a time. And also, it's just a small, cheap phone display, and that makes it harder. But overall, you can text on it, and you do get used to the whole touchscreen thing, and then it's not that hard. It does handle the messaging app very well. You can see transitions. And the app never froze or anything, so that's always good. Battery life on this thing is not great. It didn't even last a whole day with light use. Also, now I'm going to give a shout out to someone who texted me with the idea for shout outs. His user account on YouTube is 2018 The King 2018. So you should subscribe to him. He's a pretty cool guy. And like I said, he gave me the idea for shout outs. And he's a very loyal viewer, and he texted the phone and helped me review it by texting me on it, which is really helpful. I'll always give out the number for my phone that I review so that you can help me review the keyboard. Also, he tells his friends to subscribe, which is very nice. And so, if you would like to be in my next video as a shout out, please text me. My number is right here, and I'll have it also below. That's my Text Plus number. Text me, subscribe to me, and you might be in the next video. Alright, now let's go on to the web. The web on this phone is, it's not horrible, let's put it that way. Let's go to PhoneDog.com, which is a pretty big website. You have to remember, this PhoneDog is not some mobile website, it's a full website. And I'll tell you, pinch to zoom worked okay when it was fully loaded, but when it's loading like this, the entire page is just jumpy. And also, the internet loads things pretty speedy. I'll talk about in part 2. My 3G network, it drops down to 1x sometimes, but when it is on 3G, it's generally pretty dang fast for Sprint and Virgin Mobile. So that's a plus. And also, again, like many low-end phones, mobile sites are much easier handled, much better handled on here than full sites like this. But I'll just show you. It's not done loading quite yet. We'll give it another second. Alright, it's going to take a while, I think. I don't get very much service here. And this website always takes a while to load. So I don't know if you can see, I mentioned the screen is somewhat off color. It's kind of a bluish color. And you can see the pixels very well even when you're just texting. Even when you're texting, it gets more annoying than you'd think. The screen is just a crappy quality. The resolution is horrible. I'm not sure what it is, but it must be the screens that PCD uses, because the Venture had the same problem with me. Alright, it is fully loaded, and you can scroll through the stuff here and zoom in and out. So it's not horrible, like I said. And you should be able to pinch to get it in. Yep. Alright, and that's that. Now, be on the lookout for part 2 coming up soon. In part 2, I will talk about the camera, and I will talk about apps and games on this phone. And I will do speed tests, quadrant test, and I will give a conclusion of what I think about this phone. Keeping in mind it is only an $80 phone off contract, which is a very different class of its own, because not all phones are that cheap. So I will tell you if it's worth it, $80. Alright, thanks.